Why all the hostility towards the new movie of the remake of The Crow? Why all the hostility? I don't get it. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll be right back with my personal review. As always, be right back.
It's because it sucked. That's why. It was garbage. It was a sucky, crappy movie. It is an insult to the original 1994 classic with Brandon Lee. Hollywood, what is wrong with you? Stop making remakes. They don't do well. Stop. That's why it sucked. Garbage movie. Now I'll be right back. God, I hate remakes.
Welcome back, guys, to Little Paul of Horrors. I am Little Paul. This is Little Paul of Horrors. First, before I get into this much-needed review with regards to this god-awful movie, first, I'd like to say thank you very much for tuning into my channel. Thank you very much for subscribing. For those individuals who haven't, please click subscribe, share, and let people know about me. I'm out here to entertain, to inform, and to also give you my personal viewpoint on Hollywood horror movies. Well, horror movies made in Hollywood, obviously. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you again for being here. And let's get into it. Let's get into this travesty. This, oh my God, why did they make this movie situation? What is up with Hollywood and remakes? You know, I try to live by, I have many mottos, but one of my mottos is, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. This movie was not broken. As a matter of fact, it is the original 1994 movie, The Crow, is a classic. Isn't there a really well-known saying in a franchise? Oh, yes, I remember. Yes. Scream 4 with Neve Campbell. What does she say right before she electrocutes and kills her cousin? Or when we think she does. She says to her these famous words: "Don't fuck with the original. Don't. There's no reason." I was so pissed. I walked inside this movie thinking that, maybe it'll do it some justice. There was no justice in this movie. You know what this movie was? The new Crow, Mr. Skarsgård, walking around half naked all the time, showing off his body. Who cares? With all your stupid tattoos. And not knowing, how to get, shit done. How to get your revenge. In 1994, it was so simple. It was so simple. So before we get any further into my dissection, my personal review and dissection of this god-awful movie, the person who directed this movie is first-time director Rupert Sanders. Rupert Sanders, this is the one movie you shouldn't have touched. You should not have touched this movie as being a first-time director. Anyway, then we have Bill Skarsgård as Eric, or the Crow. F.K. Twigs, oh my God. She annoyed me. I wanted her to get killed in this movie. She was so goddamn annoying. So no emotion on her face at times. She's just she just irritated me and that's all I could say is, just garbage. She plays Shelly, his girlfriend. Then Danny Houston as Vincent Rogue, a demonic crime boss.
Oh, I'm so interested.
Then Sammy Buagilia, if I'm pronouncing it, it's Buai. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Sam Buagila as Kronos. Now, he's a spirit guide And I do apologize if by any chance I mispronounced your name. So if anybody wants to correct me, go right ahead and feel free in the comments below. He plays Kronos. Kronos in Greek is chronos. Chronos in English means year or time, but mostly year. That's what it is. And what was his part in this movie? To lead him? To show him? Oh, let's get into this. This movie was, okay, so this guy, because I'm really, my emotions are taking the better of me. Okay, calm down. No, I can't calm down because it's garbage, this movie. Oh my God. This movie starts off with him, inside. It's a spoiler alert. So, guys, if you haven't seen this movie, don't watch it. Just listen to this because I'm saving you the time. Trust me. Do not go watch this movie. I know at other times I have said, it's up to you. But I'm begging you, please don't go watch this movie. It has gotten such horrible reviews. I went to watch it because it's part of my shtick. Like this is what I do on my channel. This is part of my content creation. But I wanted to go. I also thought, I went in. I always go in with an open mind, saying to myself, maybe it'll be that one movie. But a lot of these horror movies that have come out this year have been crap. They haven't been good. And this one takes the cake. This one's the worst by far. So so let's get into the story. Whatever. He is in this correctional facility. He's thinking about himself back when he was a young kid and how he used to be, he's seeing the death of a horse trapped in barbed wire, whatever. Then it peels back to Shelly, his girlfriend, having to run away from the law because one of her friends is telling her that they found out about this. We don't know what this is all about yet. And then, she gets caught because she's running away, trying to get away from the bad guys. And then from there, she gets put into this correctional facility. And within a moment, like a Romeo and Juliet type of situation, he falls in love with her because he sees her passing by his room inside the correctional facility through the window. And then this relationship, this true love just comes out of nowhere within 24 hours, right? Or 48 hours. They fall in love. And then they go on. And then she has they're able to escape this correctional facility, which boggles my mind, by cutting off their ankle bracelets and getting away. Because these bad people are coming to kill her because of this secret that she knows and of this video that she has on her stupid phone. Then they run away and they come to this really posh place, this really nice place that her friend lets her stay in. And all the time, no cops are looking for them. No cops, no police authorities, no one is looking for them. And within this short amount of time, they're falling in love. Okay, whatever. That's garbage and horseshit. Let's keep on going. And then from there, they find them in his place now. Not in her place, in his place. How do they find them? Good question. We have no idea.
Huh?
It doesn't explain it. He just, in his place. They kill them. He falls into this purgatory type of situation with Kronos, the spirit guide that tells him that you have to go back. But right before that, there's this scene of him trying to get her. They're both drowning in water, and he's trying to reach for her and swing for her, and she's floating away. I'm oh my God, Rachel, help me, please. And he's trying to get to her, and she's fading away. I was drown, bitch, drown. You're annoying. Die. Maybe it would have been a better way to stop this stupid movie. Then he goes back up. Then he's told by Kronos, oh, the love that you have to go back and make the right things wrong. Or wrong things right, that's it. Make the wrong things right. No. Who the hell fucking cares? Who cares? Who cares? It was so dry. It was so dumb. He goes back. He tries to exact vengeance. It looks horrible. He's getting shot. Okay, with the CGI that we have nowadays, it's more realistic. Who cares? But half the time, again, he's walking around with his shirt off. Who cares? With your dumbass, stupid tattoos all over you, making you seem like, what, you're mysterious? You're too much to handle, Bill? What made The Crow from 1994 so great, aside from the fact that it was Brandon Lee, may he rest in peace, it was, he brought out this beautiful and yet simple and, approachable character in The Crow. Like, yes, he's looking for revenge for his girlfriend who was totally like violated and beaten and then killed and murdered, and he comes back, but you see that there's this humanity to him, and he demonstrates it so perfectly. And this ass clown Bill Skarsgård in this movie doesn't portray it at all like that. It's dry and it's stale, and I'm sorry, the makeup, it looks like somebody melted your face. That's not creepy. Putting on, the ink that they use for tattoos on his face to go,
well, I think I'm just going to do this, and I think I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to look like the Crow.
No, you don't look like a crow. You don't look like the Crow at all. At all. Anyways, he fails miserably. Okay, he doesn't get the person. Now, Danny Houston, who plays the demonic crime lord, first of all, it's like, what? What made the first one so great was that the crime lord was human. Yeah, he had a witch there for his, I think it was his incestuous half-sister, whatever she was, but who cares? It was a human crime boss. And at the ending of The Crow 1994, you have good versus evil on top of the church. At that time, because of the injury that the Crow sustained, meaning the actual Crow that follows him around, which they miss around in this movie a lot, made him human. So it was like two humans fighting. That was so great about it. In this one, it's like, oh, now he's superhuman and he's getting shot. So much blood, so much gore, so much killing and violence and all that stuff. That's what I think it was about. It was like, let's see if we could make this as gory and as bloody as we can. Don't get me wrong, the gore, the fight scenes were great, but it wasn't even scary as a movie. There wasn't this ominous type of like feeling of dread that you feel when this guy was coming along. When you saw Brandon Lee, and the way that the lighting and the colors which were used and the music, all of that, and along with his performance, just made it all that much more, creepy and scary and brooding. It was just like visceral. You could feel it. This was just a joke. This was just stupid. It was just dumb. And I know I use these words because these are just very simple words that can encapsulate exactly what I'm trying to say. This movie was just god-awful. And, that crime lord that he was up against had made a deal with the devil so that he could get all these souls. And then you still don't realize what the whole big thing was about. Like, why were all these people getting killed and why was this guy such a crime lord? Doesn't even get into that. At least in the other movie, in the first one, you know why he is. It gives the story as to why he became the crime lord and the crime boss in that neighborhood. But in this one, it doesn't. And the way that he is able to track him, no description behind it, how Bill Skarsgård or the Crow is able to get down to Vincent Rogue and to have that final showdown and then to kill each other. But before that happens, because he fails the first time, he goes back to whatever purgatory with all these flying crows around and says, I'm going to give up my life for her so she can live and I don't. Okay. And it was, okay. So, he says to him, Kronos, there's no coming back from this now. If I do this, she's going to come back to life and you're going to go down to hell. Wait, gets better. He goes back. Now he's infused with this superpower. Now he's more of the Crow now. Before he was Crow, now he's the Crow 2.0. That's what he is now. Goes back, is able to kill all these other people, and he gets more violent, and he puts that stupid, makeup on his face that makes him look like, I don't know, a clown who just did not know how to put makeup on his face, and then stuck his face inside a microwave and let it melt for 3 seconds. It is so stupid. Then he goes off. he does this huge, he goes on a huge killing spree inside the opera where this Vincent guy is, this crime lord. And then after he's killed every single bodyguard that this guy has, chops off the head of these two villains, goes into the opera after it's finished and everyone's taking a bow, and he looks into the crowd and he puts up the heads like this and he throws them and everyone's like, screaming. All right. Then he goes back, then he finds Vincent and then kills him. Then he goes back to purgatory and Shelley comes back. And this was the only it was so like, oh God. It's tiring. It's so tiring. This movie was tiring. I think it knocked off a few years off of my life. Yeah. Because, just to tell you how stupid this ending was, just how stupid it was, just how ridiculously crappy and shitty this ending was. She comes back out of the deep, dark ocean of the water and the abyss that she was in. She comes back and then they hug. They hug. And then she goes back and then they cut to a scene where she's resuscitated. This whole movie was happening while they were dead from the beginning of the movie. It just didn't make any sense. That was the part I was like, what? What did you just show us? So, in other words, this is what happens. They get killed. They get attacked. She gets killed. He doesn't. He comes back as the Crow. Then at the end of the movie, when he goes through all of that to get her back, they go back to where they were, where they are actually killed from the beginning, from those bad guys from Vincent. She comes back to life and he dies. Was there a time lapse somewhere? Did somebody find the Infinity Stone that had to do with time? And then, charge it up, and it just didn't make it. The fluidity just went right out the door. Aside from the fact that everything about this movie sucked, this was the icing on the cake. This is just what made it suck even more. So he goes through all of this to come back to the beginning to resuscitate her. Like, how long was she dead for? Was she dead for like 4 days? Like, this whole thing that of him becoming the Crow takes place within 2 or 3 days. And then when she resuscitates and they resuscitate her and bring her back to life, it's like nothing ever happened. It made no sense. So what am I saying? I'm saying, A, do not go watch this movie. It's garbage. The 1994 is the original Crow. Make it seem like this movie was never made. Because right after this review, that's what I'm going to try to do. I really want to get rid of this movie out of my head. It was so bad. Everything was bad. Everything. I just did not like it. It was an insult. Stop making remakes. As Sidney Prescott says in Scream 4, don't fuck with the original. Stop it. Now, it didn't need to be the original 1994 version of The Crow did not need to be made. You didn't need to make it. Listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to what I'm saying, Hollywood. Stop making these remakes. Come up with something original. We don't need this. The Crow was a masterpiece. It was a great movie. It was great. I'm talking about the original, the 1994 version here. Don't get me wrong. This was, crap. It was just a heaping pile of horseshit. Stinky and disgusting. It did not need to be made. At all. And that's how I feel about this travesty of a movie. It did not need to be made. Period. Full stop. God, will they ever learn? So, what did you think of my review? Have you seen the movie? Have you not seen the movie? If you've seen the movie, please leave comments below. If you haven't seen the movie, don't go watch it because you don't need to. I told you what the movie is. And I think my explanation sounds much better than what you would see for that 1 hour and 50 minutes that passed. It's just garbage. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Keep it for yourself and wait until another movie, a good movie comes out. Go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. That's a good movie. Laugh and laugh and laugh some more and just enjoy it. See? Save your money for something like that. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to my channel. Again, thank you very much for visiting. Please subscribe, like, and share the content and my channel with other people. Give a thumbs up, give a thumbs down, and please leave comments below and subscribe. Click, 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 click. It's free. Trying to get to 200 subscribers. Hopefully I can get to 120, 125. That would be nice. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until the next time, guys and girls and everyone else out there, enjoy the show.